You alright, bruv? What are you doing? Nothing, bruv. Just taking a breath against racism, innit?
Check it, check it, check it, check it out.
So the Scotland football team have decided, unlike England, Wales and Ireland, that instead of taking a knee before football matches, they're instead gonna take a stand. Because, you know, why do something out of the ordinary compared to what people normally do before a football match when you could do what you've always done in the past? That'll show the racists. So lads, what are you gonna do before the football match then? We're gonna stand up against racism. But haven't you always stood up before football matches? Aye laddie, but this time it's different because we're also going to be breathing against racism and combing our hair against racism and taking a shower against racism. But why don't you just take the knee if that's what everyone else is doing? I don't know, but to be honest, we heard England players were gonna take the knee, and at that point we said, you can put me in a dress and call me a lassie if you think you're ever gonna see me do what an Englishman a do, even if it makes us look massively racist when all the England players are kneeling and we're standing there like a bunch of meerkats defending a David Beckham free kick. Now obviously I'm taking a mick a lot there, but the point stands. If all you're gonna do to show that you're against racism is stand up before a football match, something that players have always done anyway, you're not really taking an observable stance against racism, are you? You're just standing up before a football match. The whole point behind taking a knee is that it's a visible gesture by the football players to show that they're anti-racism. If all you're gonna do is be a dick and stand up, you're nothing more than an erection in a football kit, fam. Now I do kind of understand how Scotland football players came to this decision. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. Because over the past few months since football players have been taking a knee, you've seen a few incidents where fans have been booing the players taking a knee, especially at England football matches. And Scotland football players would have been seeing this, especially as most of them are teammates with these England players, and they would have been questioning whether they could do a less antagonistic gesture to show that they're against racism. But there's a couple of problems with that thought process. Making a gesture to show that you're anti-racist only works if the gesture itself is observable and something which is out of the ordinary. You alright, bruv? What are you doing? Nothing, bruv. Just taking a breath against racism, innit? And since football players have always stood up before a football match, I mean, it'd be weird if you looked on the pitch and saw everyone lying down before a match. They tend to stand up, football players, you know what I'm saying?
It's just been pimp tight, I'm saying. Pimp tight, I'm saying.
Therefore, taking a stand before a football match visibly does nothing to show that you're against racism. Unless someone's going to seek out an article about the Scottish FA and how they're against racism and how they're standing up to show that fact, absolutely no one is going to know, are they? And furthermore, when Scotland play England in the Euros in 2 weeks' time, and all of the England players are taking a knee, and the Scottish players are opposite them, standing up like Father Jack when he hears the French national anthem.
Put on the music that makes Father Jack stand up. What?
That's going to look like an act of defiance by the Scottish football team, innit? It's not going to look like an act of solidarity, that's for sure. And secondly, why are Scottish football players allowing a bunch of racist idiots who boo people taking a knee in solidarity with an anti-racist cause to bully them out of doing something which has been universally adopted as a symbol in support of anti-racism? It's an absolutely cowardly act by the Scottish FA and the Scottish football players. Alright, Jackie, what are we going to do before today's Fatma match to show the entire planet that we're against racism? Well, Jack, I'm sure you've seen most of the world are taking the knee. Do you not think that we should do the same? Oh, I don't know, Jackie. We might get booed. I was watching the England game last night and they got booed. I didn't fancy that. It might make me cry. Aye, that's a right joke. You are a bit of a sensitive soul, aren't you, pal? Well, just stand instead. I'd hate to see you cry. Right, so as I've been recording this video, some news has just emerged that Scotland will in fact take the knee in their game against England, but in all their other games in the tournament, they're going to be standing. Now, in my opinion, that's even more cowardly. So you're going to take the knee against England because you don't want to be shown up by the England football players taking the knee, but then in all your other games, you're going to stand up. Doesn't that then prove that the Scottish football team refusing to take the knee is an act of defiance? Because the only time you're choosing to take the knee is when you feel it's going to be bad PR for your team. In every other instance, you're going to stand up in a complete rejection of the universal universally adopted anti-racist gesture. At best, this is complete ignorance from the Scottish football team, and at worst, they're condoning racism. Either way, it's not a good look for them, is it? Now, certain people watching this video might be thinking I'm being overly dramatic. Like, how is choosing to take the knee or not even that big of a thing? It's simply kneeling down for a couple of seconds, isn't it? Well, you have to put it in the context of the fact that over the past few months, the England football players have been taking a knee in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter slogan, and every time they've done so in front of a crowd, they've been booed by most of the supporters. Now, a lot of people are coming up with stupid excuses like, if you take the knee, then you're supporting Marxist causes like Black Lives Matter, BLM and all that.
But what about the mistake there from Pickford? Yeah, comrade Pickford, he took a bit of a knock there, and he'll get some criticism, no doubt, from the press. But ultimately, I mean, the guy's quality. We have not seen a revolutionist such as that since the days of Mao Zedong.
And not only that, they're coming up with the excuse of taking the knee is a subservient gesture, and they're bowing down to people. Well, here's what the England manager Gareth Southgate had to say on the matter.
We're all trying to support, move for equality, move for supporting our own teammates, some of the experiences they have been through in their lives. Some people decide to boo. The most important thing for our players is to know that we are totally united on it. We feel that more than ever, determined to take the knee through this tournament. We accept that there might be an adverse reaction, and we're just going to ignore that and move forward. I think the players are sick of talking about the consequences of should they, shouldn't they. They've had enough, really. They know the power of their voices. They know the fact that they can make a difference. And today we can, because of what happened. I think the fact that we're going to keep going is impactful. I must never be allowed to be tired of doing that, because I don't have the right to be tired of doing it. You know, when I haven't lived the life that my players have and had to experience the things they had, it saddens me that they're so hardened to it that they're almost dismissive. And that's something that in our country we should all reflect on, I think.
Now, when you hear stuff like that, it makes you think about people like the Scottish football players who have decided not to take the knee, obviously due to public pressure and not wanting to get booed by their own fans. It makes you realise how cowardly they are. And it also shows the privilege, because if you're black, you can't choose not to be anti-racist. You can't say, oh, I'm going to feel the pressure today, so I better not do anything to antagonise the people, because your very skin colour and the way you look antagonises them. But the fact that you've got the choice to go, you know what, yeah, I'm actually not going to take the knee today because I don't want to offend anyone in the audience because they might boo me and then I'll cry. It makes you a massive pussy-hole, fam. Now, when it comes to the fans who actually boo and make up all these stupid excuses as to why they're booing, I saw a video on TikTok which is the perfect response to them almost. Check it out.
People aren't going to like what I have to say about this, but I've checked my pockets and can't find any fucks in there, I'm afraid. I've been a football fan for all of my life. England taking the knee, why some fans say they're booing players because they're fucking racist, or thick, ignorant and racist. Some of those players have had to play with people making monkey noises at them, with people doing the Sig Heil at them. Oh, there's no place for politics in football. Oh, really? Apart from when you're talking about the Ra or the World Wars, yeah? I don't think most of them can think. I love football. I fucking hate football fans. They are globally an embarrassment to this country, and they're letting their fucking inferiority show.
Now, finally, I want to talk about the fact that Scotland is looked upon as one of the hardest nations in the sort of British area. Yet on this issue, they're being the biggest pussy-holes. Take, for example, the fact that England are taking the knee, despite the boos. Wales are taking the knee. Even Ireland are taking the knee. Yet Scotland, who are supposedly fucking Braveheart and all that, have completely chickened out. And not only that, the fact they've done so has allowed them to now become the perfect dog whistle for absolute racist dickheads like Lawrence Fox and Toby Young, who jump at any chance to denounce Black Lives Matter or any cause which is standing up for the human rights of black people. Well done, Scotland. Pat on the back, mate. Fucking idiots. Now, I do have to clarify that I'm only talking about the Scottish football team here, because Scottish people in the main have been absolutely outraged by this. And to illustrate that fact, hashtag Take the Knee Scotland has been trending on Twitter today, and it's a bunch of Scottish people calling their own football team cowards. So big up Scottish people all day long. But anyway, I guess that's about it for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button and turn notifications on by clicking that notification bell so you can see more videos like this one. So yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. And